they can get some idea what's going on. And I'm hoping that the first couple of speakers will be in English so that they have a taste of what we are going to do. And gradually it will shift to Urdu so then it's up to them how much, depends on the level of patience and tolerance, how much Urdu they can understand or accept or whatever. So while we are waiting for Khalid and F.O.T.H to have a cup of tea and sit down, some of you do not know or who are new to our group, today's the program is special in more than one ways. First is, this is the first post-COVID in-person meeting. We have been having sort of Zoom meetings for the last couple of years because of COVID, and so it had a disadvantage that we could not see each other face to face. But the other side of that was it was compensated that we could invite people from Pakistan, India, America, Europe who could join us for the Family of the Heart meetings. Kamran had a couple of shows and then we had some Zoom meetings and they were very successful, they were very meaningful. So this group, I think those of you who are new, the Family of the Heart is a very informal group. It's all by volunteers. We don't have any official members or any membership or whatever. But the people you could see as you get to know Family of the Heart. Rafiq Sultan, who is arranging the tea for all of you, and Parvez Salahuddin, who not only takes pictures, but also brings samosas and jalebis. And then there are other people, informal, like Sayyid Hussain, and then I have some speakers, some friends who are always sort of in a way gracious and generous, like Shahid Akhtar whenever or Sayyid Hussain Haider, that whenever I ask them to join us or to participate. I think F.O.T.H and Kamran are relatively new to our Family of the Heart. So I think the other thing today which is very special is we have invited two guests. The first guest that has come from Texas, Dr. Sohail Zubairi. I think you people will see, we have put some books on the table later on if you want to have a look at the books. Sohail Zubairi is my childhood friend. We were from grade 6 to grade 10, and then people who are from Peshawar. I think Khalida is from Peshawar, so she knows. There was Edwards College, and I think Kamran is also from Peshawar. So we had that kind of a environment in Peshawar where we grew up, and I remember with Sohail Zubairi, we will go for long walks, like for hours, and discussing every topic under the sky, religion, science, psychology, social traditions, So I would say that I think in my intellectual development, while there were teachers and sort of professors, he was one of the contemporaries or my class fellow that we could have a heart-to-heart talk. So I could say that the beginning of the Family of the Heart in a very informal way started between me and Sohail Zubairi. And because we had the same name, we separated it. I write with an O, S-O, and he writes with a U, S-U, Sohail. So that's how we separated. So I will request Sohail Zubairi to come and come to join on the stage. Let me move it. So thank you, Sohail Zubairi, for joining us. He came all the way from Texas. I think some of you who have an interest in science, I joined medical school, I went that direction. He went to science, he went to physics, and I would say he was the one who went on the road less traveled. Actually, we did not know anyone else who would leave engineering and science and medicine and go to physics. So I think he sort of has done an uphill struggle, and I feel very proud of his accomplishments. In quantum physics, especially quantum optics, his books are sort of like textbooks all over the world. He's very modest, he's very down to earth, but I think in the university or academic circles. So I sort of encouraged him or asked him to join me, like I did to Kamran before, to have some letter writing, that Uzma calls this, हर एक से letterबाजी शुरू कर देते letterबाजी है, you know, so you people know that I have done with many people. Because I felt and I still feel that people like him, they are so modest that he says, you know, that his accomplishment in science are very scientific. But sort of on social issues, whether religion, psychology, social issues, education. So I think he has very strong and very valid views that I think need to be read, need to be understood, need to be discussed. So he sort of, in a very humble way, would say, who would read my ideas about social issues? But I feel, and I strongly feel, that that kind of a discussion, and those of you who know the atmosphere of Pakistan, where the fundamentalism is on the rise, extremism, and open and honest and sincere, genuine dialogue. I think that is one way of improving social consciousness, improving education. So I think those kind of a dialogues that we do in Family of the Heart is as much needed in Pakistan and the Muslim world and the third world. So I think those issues are the ones that I encouraged him to have a dialogue with me so that we could have this book, Religion, Science and Psychology. Our other guest has been here once before. His name is Naeem Ashraf. He these days is in Calgary, so he flew all the way from Calgary, and I really thank him for taking the time. I think Laura had met him before. He had come here once when we had, he had translated our book, me and Rabi al-Rabah's book, Darweshon Ka Dera, by the name of Darwesh's Inn. And then he and I also had an exchange of letters. It's called Literary Love Letters, in which we discuss different novels and novelists. Like he would discuss The Old Man and the Sea, and I will discuss Ernest Hemingway. So Ernest Hemingway or Virginia Woolf or many others that are very well-known writers in the West and the East, we had that exchange. So I will request Naeem Ashraf Saab to join us on the stage. Naeem Ashraf has been kind enough to translate our book in Urdu. So the book is almost ready. We have seen the ultrasound of the book, but it's not delivered yet. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, the ultrasound will become materialized. Shahid Akhtar always laughs when I bring my gynecological labor room analogies to literature. I want to acknowledge there are some people in the audience, because some of them are speakers. As they come, I'll introduce them. But some people who are not speakers today, but still I think they are very important for our community. One is Javed Danish, who is a playwright. He is an actor, director, producer, and he has a TV show on every Saturday. He invites one of the writers, scholars, intellectuals, artists from all over the world, and has a very lengthy, in-depth interview. So he has been contributing to our community. Mujahid Ishai is our special visiting from Pakistan. He is also an expert in translations. Every year he has translated, Saadat Hasan Minto, Aminuddin Qasmi, Intezar Hussain, and people like that. So I want to welcome. I think other people you will sort of see them as speakers. And as I mentioned, Kamran Ahmed and Afshin, they came all the way from Barrie. It's a long way to drive here, And I think Afshin she is a poet. She has a beautiful voice. I think some of you have listened to her singing Faz Ahmad Faz and many other. And then we also have another family, Huma Dilawar. She writes beautiful poetry as an artist, and sort of, not only art and poetry, but also with literature. And her daughter, I think they were youngest member of the Family of the Heart. I don't know whether she's here, Eden. Here she's sitting at the back. She's hardly a teenager, but in writing, I'm so impressed when I read some of her. And then we also have another artist by the name of Mushtaq. He took one of the pictures that is on my book that you will see when dreams come true. His cover for the book, has made many people ask me who is this artist who took. So even a person like me looks good in the picture because of his camera. So these are just sort of introduce you to the setting. So today the program is that we have some speakers. We will start today with Shahid Akhtar, then we'll go to Laura, then we'll have Mirza Yasin Beg because he has to go somewhere, so we have to invite him a bit early. Then Khalid and Naseem, then Sayyid Haider, and then we are expecting, I hope that Munir Sami, he wants to say a few words, so if he joins us, then he will be there. And then I'll invite Naeem Ashraf to tell us about translations, this art of translation. And then we have Dr. Sohail Zubairi. And so he was generally asking me that how much time he has. So I said, you are basically the main speaker, you can speak as long as you wish. But then my hope is that when he ends his speech, that we could have an interactive dialogue. Because I think Abrar Hassan, I don't see him here. Yeah, Abrar, has read and it's, his book. And Abrar, I think, as most of you know, he is by profession an economist, but a poet, a musician, a painter, multifaceted, multidimensional personality. So I feel that these people who have joined me over the years, because Sohail Zubairi, when I went to visit him in Texas, he asked me about the environment here. So I said, come to Whitby, come to Toronto, and then we'll introduce you to a couple of dozen of people who keep me actually engaged and inspired. So I want to thank all of you for joining us today. I did not know, it is my oversight, and I want to sort of acknowledge that. I did not know, Uzma brought to my attention that this is Muharram. I did not realize because I'm not a religious person. So today many of the people, they called us, they wanted to come, but because of, I think it's 9th of Muharram today, tomorrow is 10th. So because of Muharram, they could not join us. So I feel sort of bad that they could not be with us. Because when we booked this room 3-4 months ago, I had no idea about Muharram. And actually, once we did it in Ramadan, I think Mujahid Shai was here. We did a program for him, it was in Ramadan. So my being a secular person, I forget all these Muharram and Eid and Ramzan and all that. So it's like, excuse me. So let me start today. I think some of you have listened to Shahid Akhtar before, and some of you who have not. I think Shahid Akhtar has been one of the very loyal and faithful friend as a person, personally, as well as